Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We have a fascinating story to share with you, one that raises important questions about international cooperation, human rights, and the rule of law. We're going to be discussing the recent developments in the story of deportations from the United States to Africa. Specifically, we'll be looking at the cases of Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, and Ghana, where the U.S. has been sending deportees, including those with criminal records. This issue has sparked controversy and debate, with some arguing that it's a necessary measure to maintain national security, while others claim that it's a violation of human rights and an example of democratic regression. According to reports, Eswatini has accepted up to 160 deportees from the U.S. in exchange for $5.11 million to build its border and migration management capacity. However, this deal has been met with resistance from civil society groups, who argue that it was made without parliamentary consent and is therefore unconstitutional. The Southern African Litigation Center has taken the government to court, claiming that the agreement amounts to executive overreach and undermines the country's democratic institutions. Meanwhile, in Ghana, there have been reports of deportees being dumped at the border, leaving them without support or resources. This has raised concerns about the treatment and welfare of these individuals, who may be fleeing persecution or violence in their home countries. As we delve into this complex issue, we'll be examining the different perspectives and arguments surrounding these deportations. We'll be talking to experts, analyzing the facts, and considering the implications for international relations, human rights, and the rule of law. So, let's take a closer look at this story and explore the nuances and complexities involved. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're halfway through our show and I'm excited to dive into our middle segment. Today, we're taking a closer look at two developing stories from around the world. First, let's head to Ecuador, where protests have been ongoing due to rising fuel prices and other economic concerns. The government has declared a state of emergency in response to the unrest, which has resulted in clashes between protesters and security forces. According to reports, several people have been injured, and there are concerns about the situation escalating further. Meanwhile, in Georgia, the South Caucasus country has seen its own share of protests and political unrest. The ruling party, Georgian Dream, has claimed victory in recent local elections, but the opposition has boycotted the vote, citing it as a sham. The EU has expressed concerns about the government's repressive policies, which have led to mass arrests and police violence against protesters. It's essential to note that both of these situations are complex and multifaceted, with different perspectives and interests at play. As we follow these stories, it's crucial to consider the various viewpoints and strive for a nuanced understanding of the issues involved. In Ecuador, the government has faced criticism for its handling of the protests, while in Georgia, the opposition is pushing for democratic reforms and greater transparency. The international community is watching both situations closely, with the EU and other organizations calling for calm and restraint. As we continue to monitor these developments, it's clear that the road ahead will be challenging for all parties involved. We'll keep a close eye on these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, let's take a moment to consider the broader implications of these events and how they might impact the people living in these regions. It's a reminder that the pursuit of democracy, stability, and economic security is an ongoing process, often marked by setbacks and challenges. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to bring your attention to a developing story that's been unfolding in the region of Eastern Europe. Reports have emerged of a Ukrainian rocket attack on the Belgorod region in Russia, resulting in the loss of at least 2 lives. The attack occurred after an earlier drone barrage knocked out power for thousands of residents in the area. According to sources, including the Moscow Times, the victims of the attack include an energy worker who was attempting to restore power to homes in the region, as well as a man who succumbed to his injuries at a hospital. The Belgorod region governor, Vyacheslav Gladkov, has confirmed these details and expressed concern over the impact on local residents. This incident is part of a larger conflict that has been ongoing between Ukraine and Russia. It's essential to acknowledge the complexities and sensitivities surrounding this issue, as well as the human cost of such conflicts. As we strive to provide you with accurate and unbiased information, I want to emphasize the importance of considering multiple sources and perspectives when evaluating these events. In related news, Ukrainian officials have not commented on the specific incident, but tensions between Ukraine and Russia remain high. The international community continues to monitor the situation closely, with many calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. As we close today's Barbaras Bulletin, I encourage you to stay informed about this developing story and its implications for global politics and security. It's crucial that we engage in thoughtful discussions and consider the diverse perspectives involved. That's all for today's Barbaras Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.